What's up, guys? My name's Doofus Mcdooface, and this is Legion TD2 tier list for tier 1s. And I'm going to do two parts. It'll be my opinion for the first tier list, and the second tier list, I will actually show you the win probabilities of these units and where that would actually rank them in a true tier list of the game. But we'll do my opinion first, and then we can even sort of compare and see where I was way off, or maybe I was spot on. So, without further ado, let's get into this tier list. And just in case you want it, I'll be doing tier 2, tier 3, and so forth, also with the win probabilities. So if you're enjoying this, please like, please comment, and tell me where I'm way off. But let's start with Bone Warrior. Bone Warrior is really solid. Alright, it's got the Bone Crusher, Fire Archers, the bones themselves, the health regen. I'm not quite going to put it in S right off the bat. I'm going to put it at A. It's a great unit. I love it in most roles. But I do feel like this splitting feels a little different with Fire Archer lately. Dark Mage. I forgot about Dark Mage too. But yeah, and only one of them is really actually useful in the late game, right? Only Dark Mage could you actually use beyond like wave 15, 16, 17, etc. So I feel like A, Bone Warrior, A tier. Buzz. Buzz. I mean, I love it for Fiesta. It's one of my favorites. And it also will help you to snipe backline because of its ability, right? The Buzz ability does damage after it dies, as well as the Consort does too. And that helps you snipe stuff. But it's very weak to witches, right? Although most tier 1s are weak to witches. And I think I've got to give it the same sort of issue that like Bone Warrior has, where I'm gonna go A. But I think it's above Bones. Where like in the late game, unless your only unit is Consort for like natural or fortified, you're probably not gonna place them, right? And maybe I'm being a little aggressive to these tier 1s here, but I really do feel like Bone Warrior and Buzz are good, but they're not quite beyond great. No, they're great, but they're not beyond great. So Buzz, A tier. Chained Fist with the Final Form Oathbreaker. I'm really thinking it's got to be S tier. I really think it has to be S tier for the Chained Fist. And the reason, early push, plus it has the late game ability now that it has a triple, right? Has the triple ability, not triple up, a triple upgrade, right? And it's actually only a double upgrade, right? I'm just saying stuff at this point. Triple upgrade wouldn't make sense because there's actually only the Chained Fist into Oathbreaker into Final Form Oathbreaker. So it has 3 different forms, but it's not 3 upgrades. Yeah, you get it. But I think it's amazing. The damage reduction, you could Chieftain cheese it, buff it really big. I've seen some crazy things with Butcher Final Form Oathbreaker. I've seen crazy things. Pulverizer on it with how fast it goes. I mean, I feel like I'm rightful in saying that it's S tier. I think so. It's staying. Goblin Copter, Whirlybird. This is tough because it does have an incredible start. I might change this one. This is literally like an A+. I feel like the early push, I've been able to go 7 workers so many times, even when I'm not Fiesta. Even when I haven't been Fiesta, I've been able to go 7 workers with this unit, the Whirlybird, the upgrade of Goblin Copter. And I love that. I love that so much. So I do feel like I'm not that crazy in putting it in the S tier. But if I was to drop something as we go on in this tier list, it's probably going to be the Goblin Copter. A+ for sure. S tier maybe. Let's think about it. Looter. I think workers are way better right now than the Mythium production of looters has ever been. I would say this is probably one of the worst times ever for looter. Waves are so long. You have so many things that pro leak in the early game now. Everybody's sending snails and robos. So you very rarely have like a wave 1 through 5 with no leaks. And that's exactly what you want with pack rats when you're hunting them, right? To generate that 12 mythium. I'm not going to overreact. I'm not going to put it in D tier or anything like that. But I might overreact and put it in C tier. I feel like they're so mimicable, right? Like you send a mimic, eat up all those little rats. I used to spam them. Rat gun isn't even strong anymore. They nerfed it. They nerfed the HP of the rats. I feel like C tiers is dutiful, right? I feel like it's fair. I feel like it's fair. And I think it needs a friend. Mass Spirit right off the bat. I'm putting in C tier. AoE, another real weakness right now in the meta. Honey Bears, Mole Hermit. You're just so in trouble with Mask, right? You're so in trouble with any AoE unit feels pretty bad right now, with the exception of maybe like the Pulse Bot, Skybots, and Pyro's. Pyro's still cooking. It's awesome that it has the Hellraiser function, right? But I think of the upgradables, right? Like the Proton has the second upgrade, and then the Final Form Oathbreaker, another second upgrade. This one has a second upgrade with False Maiden, and then Hellraiser. I feel like this is 100% the weakest. I feel like it's 100% the weakest. So I don't think I'm that crazy putting it here. I think Mass Spirit is a C tier. I think it is. Pee-wee, I'm gonna go B tier. There's nothing special about it, right? There's nothing special about Pee-wees. Maybe it's A tier. Maybe it is A tier. Just give me a second. Give me a second here. There's nothing special about it, but it's just such a great, cheap, like, arcane tank. And arcane tanks, wave 7 and 8 are probably, with the exception of maybe wave 6, 7 and 8 are probably the most important early game waves. And if you have this, it literally will work on 7, 8, 14, 15, even on 20. You could make some veterans. It has the stim effect. What do I do, guys? Do we put it in A tier? I feel like people would want me to put it in A tier. I'm going to put it in A tier for right now. But I feel like it's the same thing with the Goblin Copter. It's like it's a B+. It's a B+, but there's nothing in between. So I'm going to put it in A. It's an arcane tank. Arcane tanks are just so important. Like, the unit itself, not great, but the typing is great. It's A tier. I have to. Polywogs, Devilfish, Seraphim. Super, super useful for Wave 5 and Wave 6. I'm always thinking about Wave 5, Wave 6. Wave 3, it's also pretty solid. Wave 10, Devilfish are solid. Then kind of falls off for the most part. I feel like it's a B tier. I feel like we've got our first B tier. True B tier. Well balanced. Like B tier's not bad. Don't get me wrong. Like, B tier's not bad. I feel like it's well balanced. Like, I've never played against someone and been like, that was a BS Devilfish, that was a BS Seraphim. And I've also like never been like, wow, those things saved me. Right? It has some weaknesses. It has some strengths. You could use the magic damage from Seraphim's late game, but it wouldn't be amazing, right? It wouldn't be like the best thing ever. But then now I'm like contradicting because like it has some more late game ability than those. But I'm locking in the B tier. I'm locking in Polywog, Seraphim, Devilfish, B tier. I shouldn't even spend any time on this. The invention of Nucleus is probably my second favorite. My favorite new unit or like unit improvement that I've ever seen outside of Crab Warlock. Crab Warlock will forever be my favorite unit in the game, but Nucleus is climbing. Nucleus is climbing. You're telling me that I can spam tier 1, spam protons, have 20 protons on my board, people are making fun of me for it, and then I can upgrade one unit, and now although all those protons are stronger? That sounds pretty cool to me. And they got rid of the mana on Proton itself, so it's not stealing mana from everything else, so I don't have to sell them. I mean, this is like, I should move everything down. Like, genuinely, I should move everything down, because Proton, for me, you are in a realm of your own. You are the GOAT, okay? Of tier 1s. Seedling. I love Fiesta. So Chloropixie Fiesta is awesome. You can leak everything and still win the game. Sakura, they got rid of that double stack. I don't like that. I didn't like that at all. I think in one of my most recent videos, I realized while recording the video that they got rid of the double stack. I don't like Seedling right now, man. It's B or C. It's B or C. I'm gonna put it in C. I'm gonna take a stand. I'm gonna take a stand and say Seedling. What have you done to Sakura? Sakura, like the last year, has gotten weaker and weaker. Okay. Yes, Seedlings allow you to push. We also lost Mythium off of Pixies. I'm taking a stand. These two Mythium bearing units lost in the game, right? Just based on the meta, generates less Mythium. Although that happened a long time ago, just saying. Sakura just doesn't feel that strong to me. Seedling itself is a great unit, right? If this was Seedling only, I'd probably put in A or S, okay? But this is all of the upgrades included, and because of that, I just feel like Sakura and Chloropixie sort of pull it down. I've got to stick in C. I've got to stay in C tier. This is what I'm going with. I'm locking it in. Yep, I'm locking it in. Goblin Copter, you are in S tier. But remember, this is like S double plus, right? This is S double plus. This is S minus. This is just S. This is A minus, right? I'm feeling good. But now, as I told you guys, we were going to do some special things for you. I'm going to include in this video. Hopefully that doesn't screw that up. Okay, cool. That worked. That worked. I never tried that before. What I'm going to include in this video for you guys is the win rates, right? So that was my opinion. You might think I'm stupid. Maybe you fast forward to this part. This is the win rates and the tier list based on that. So let's start with our worst. Seedling. Who could have guessed that the Seedling has the worst? So actually, that's more of like a D tier with that bad of a win rate. Seedling with 45% win rate. That is horrific, right? That is really, really bad. That is underperforming. That is not balanced. In case you're wondering, this is from the last 4 patches and 1600 elo and above. There's probably, with all of these tier 1s, they probably had 100 to 200,000 games played minimum. So I do feel like there's a good set of data here. Nobody's really missing on the data because these units have been out for a long time. So Seedling stinks. Bone Warrior. This one is surprising. Bone Warrior. Yeah, at 45%, like clearly D tier for Seedling based on win probability. Bone Warrior, pretty low. I'm surprised by that. I guess like we're close enough to 50%, but that's gonna be C tier. I think C tier for Bone Warrior. Wow. Same percent. Mass Spirit, we got that one right. Mass Spirit, we're pretty good so far. It's just AoE stinks. AoE is in a bad spot. There needs to be like a I have an idea for a unit. An aura or some type of unit that boosts AoE damage. Okay? Because AoE stinks right now. So a unit or aura that buffs any AoE based unit, right? So the archers would get a buff, the mass would get a buff, flowers get a buff, pyros get a buff, bunk gets a buff. All AoE units. If you have an AoE ability, you do more damage. I think could be cool, but let me know what you guys think. Next up, Pee-wee. All right, I guess that still would be C, right? I thought Pee-wee would have been higher. A little surprised by that one. I would have thought Pee-wee would be closer to 50%, but it's not. So 49.3. We're approaching the 50%. Looter. I kind of taking the L on this one. Maybe it's because they're using it for like the Impact Swift, because that pretty much would be where our Devilfish was, right? Like just an Impact Swift unit, good tanking for like wave 6, decent on 4, decent on 10, and then I guess you could hunt them late game, you know. So I guess it's not that horrific. But then again, I was wrong, right? So I'm not gonna lie to you. I was wrong. I was wrong. All right. And then in order to not spoil everything, I've got to do it like this, because there's got to be buildup. Goblin Copter? Okay, so I screwed up. That should not have been an S tier. Or do you guys think I was right? I mean, it's still close to 50%, right? Maybe people aren't pushing to 7 workers with it and 6 workers, right? Like, the beautiful thing of Goblin Copter is how hard you can push in the early game. So, who knows? I still feel like it's not too bad. Let me know what you guys think. Next, we have Chain Fist. Really? Really? Chain Fist not in S tier? Not above 50%. It's surprising how many of these tier 1s are. That's 7 of the 10 tier 1s are actually below a 50% win rate. Interesting. Interesting. Need some more Final Form Oath Breakers, it sounds like, guys. Buzz. Ooh, dang. Feeling pretty good with my A tier, right? We got that one, right? Buzz, pretty high up there. Touche, touche. Nice. Good job, Buzz. Proud of you. I mean, it's already given, right? So I was right on Nucleus. Devilfish, they actually wanted it to be higher. Oh, yes, yes. That means I got it right on the Nucleus Proton. Poliwag, 52.7. Holy moly. That's crazy when you think about it. Like, can we just take a minute for like the statistics and probability? Seedling, abnormally bad. Everything else, like, really close to the middle. Poliwag, almost on that seedling level where it's actually pulling off from the middle mean. 52.7 is getting pretty far from 50%. So Poliwag, doing pretty well. And your champion of the world, 52.9% Proton, best unit, right? Like, it has to be the number 1, tier 1, right? It just has to be. But I feel like it did pretty decent. I feel like it did pretty okay. I mean, what did I have? I mean, I just recorded the video, right? So I believe I had that. Right. Actually, just so you guys can look at it. Let me give you guys a second to look. This is what we had for the statistics and probability. Just give you guys a second before I change it back to what I had. So we had you in the B tier. Those were my A tier. Yeah, so Bone was off quite dramatically. So I only missed 1, right? Only 1 was off by 2 things. So it's not that bad. No, I had Pee-wee in A tier, didn't I? Yeah, I did have Pee-wee in A tier. So I missed Pee-wee and Bone. My 2 A tiers were not perfect. I feel pretty decent with this. What did you guys think? But yeah, if you guys enjoyed adding the winning probabilities in here, please let me know. But I do plan to pretty quickly get out all the tier 1 through 6 this time. It will not take me months. It will take me maybe a week or 2 to get out all these videos to you guys. I know a lot of new players want to know these things. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in a future tier list video. Thank you.